Let's hear those Ariana Grande high notes. Oh, God, these layers here. Yes.
The witch of the west is dead. The wickedest witch there ever was. The enemy of all of us here in Oz is dead.
I also love, like, okay, when we are hearing the very beginning of this, we hear them come in as an ensemble. It's really, really big, right? But then the wickedest witch there ever was, we hear almost two voices pop out more. I'm assuming they're the ones that are by the window and they're moving that the block off of the window. But I like how it pops from full ensemble to just more focus on two voices and then back to she's dead. And it's like this, but dead is this huge jump there between the two.
The enemy of all of us here in Oz.
And it really sounds like a female voice on there as well. It's a female and a male duet there in that section right there. And we'll hear it more here. Listen to the difference. And then everybody to put accent on certain words creates that dynamic change that we're hearing here. And as it goes up, good news, good news. And then it goes up again. Here she comes.
Look, it's Glinda.
So much echo. I already knew I was going to be very happy with it because it's let us be glad, right? And I'm like, okay. But then she hits the next section more operatic. And I was like, okay, let us be grateful, not for. She rounds her tone more there. Yep. And so originally we had on this workings of you know who. It used to be very big. This was a very big over the top intro that Kristen Chenoweth would do. Just make statement. Boom, here I am. I like the subtleties that Ariana Grande did. Do I like them more than the way that Kristen Chenoweth did? Yes, actually. But I think when we're taking something off of stage can be big and over the top and more outgoing in some ways because it's stage. Because whatever you're doing needs to transfer all the way to the back row, right? And a lot of times we can't see the perfect expressions on their face. That's why everything has to be such big movements and the voice has to be so dramatic and enunciating the words very, very clearly because it has to transfer. But I'm right here. I can see her face very clearly because it's video. It's not stage. And I think if she were to overdo the intro in the same way, I think one of two things. One, I think it would have been too much. And two, I think everyone immediately would have been like, she's trying to be Kristen. And they would have like put her in that shoe, you know? And so I liked her subtleties here. I thought it was well suited. See, now I'm enunciating. And her enunciation there. Rejoicify the goodness, not the goodness, the goodness, which is not a traditional Ariana Grande. One of the things I always said about Ariana Grande is that I can't understand a damn thing she is saying. I can't hear it. I can't understand it. I don't know what she's saying. In most of her pop songs, early days, not on Eternal Sunshine. I understood mass majority of them. But on her early days stuff, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. I can't. It got so stuck in the nose area that it was really difficult for me to understand it. This is clearly enunciated. Nice vibrato, but nice middle ground.
It's good to see me, isn't it?
Okay. And right there, her voice coming out felt so much like Kristen Chenoweth. It's good to see me, isn't it? Like just the way that she said it, I was like, ooh, there were so many moments that I was like, okay, little nod. I get it, but not too much. Not too much.
The Wicked Witch of the West is dead.
West. The way she falls off that.
Isn't it nice to know?
Yes.
Good will conquer evil.
Love it.
The truth we all believe on, by and by.
Yes. Do you hear the enunciation on by and by? Thank you. Thank you. By and by. As she goes into it, but she rounds it more, really allows it to float a little bit more, yet still slightly over the top, which we do want. And then we have a train, but a change. As it's really beautiful, you guys. I kept feeling over and over again as I heard the announcements of Ariana Grande playing this part. I was like, no. But then I saw this and I was like, okay. And I'll tell you where she really got me. So this, I do feel there's definitely jaw tension here. See how the jaw is forward as she sings? I really do wish that we had her more dropped down jaw and we would have got a little bit more rounder of a sound. But the weirdest thing is, later on in the movie when she did her high notes, like for Popular, right? Her little bits that she didn't have the jaw tension. So was this one of the first scenes that they shot? Because I feel like her vocals in other scenes I loved so much more. But on this one here, there was definitely that jaw tension. And I hate saying it because it's not a positive, but it's true. And you can kind of hear a little bit of that tension there. Here. So, you can kind of hear a little bit of the tonal difference. I don't know how well that's translating over here, you guys. But between the ah and the hold here, this is a little bit tight for her. That is a pop voice for you. Usually they're not going to round it and drop the jaw quite the same, but
No one mourns the wicked.
there.
No one cries, they won't return.
Oh, her facial expressions in this. Amazing.
The good man scorns the wicked.
He had a great voice. I think I remember even saying that in the very beginning when I first heard it. I was like, who is that? Like, he really nailed his one line.
What we miss when we misbehave.
I just noticed how nasty dirty that water is. What are they washing? They're washing clothes, but like, what is this tray over here? That is some nasty ass green water. Are they dyeing things? Maybe they're dyeing things. Dear God, please tell me that they are not trying to wash something in that, because I just noticed how nasty that water is. That's some gross green water. That's gross.
And goodness knows
Okay.
the wicked lives are lonely.
Yeah, I loved her dynamics here. And goodness knows. It was definitely a little bit more contemporary, but I like it. I like it here. I really like it here. And then she does a little bit of a push then pull here.
The wicked lives are lonely.
Are lonely. That's the push then pull right through there.
Goodness knows the wicked die alone.
See the jaw? Did you see the jaw there? Again, pulling the jaw forward. Now, this is really common. This was something that Ariana Grande did a lot when she sang her pop music. She usually had her jaw down and forward, and it had, especially when she would do her riffs. I think that was something actually that I pointed out in the Eternal Sunshine live performances that she did, that she didn't drop and shift the jaw on her riffs as much anymore. And seriously, like, that's a huge difference. So I wonder if this was, I almost want to go on a little bit of a tangent and see if this was the first scene that they filmed. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me then.
When you're wicked, you're left only on your own.
Aww. Oh, the little girl is so cute. And the choreography. The choreography in this is so good. Like, it's smooth and then hit, and then into it. There was a lot of really solid hit moves that were just very clear, you know? If you are watching this on YouTube, then you're not getting the full video. This reaction was so much longer than what we have on YouTube because they're dumb and they block stuff and we have to like edit and do stuff like that. If you want to watch the entire thing though, fully unedited, then you need to come on over to my Patreon. Now on Patreon, I've already watched this whole movie. I've already watched it. You get to watch it with me for the very first time because I did not go to theaters, though I was very much tempted to. So you get to watch it with me as well as several other extended song editions, which many of them are even close to an hour long for one song. I just loved it this much. We also have over there other things like the Ariana Grande, Excuse Me, I Love You concert, her SNL episode that she did. We have her live performances of Eternal Sunshine, her Eternal Sunshine album reaction. We also will be watching the original Oz as well as re-watching this entire movie while learning about the behind the scenes and then digging into that. And speaking of behind the scenes, we've also got that over there. Behind the scenes, deleted footage, all of that. There's just so much. And this is how you show your support for my channel is by coming on over to Patreon, which you can do. You can sign up right now for free. So use the link down below.
But Miss Linda! Yes. Why does wickedness happen? That's a good question.
Yeah, this is the part. You guys, this is where I fell in love with her. This is where I was like, okay, this is it. Because this is where the pain shows through in her face.
She had a father, who, by the way, had been appointed governor of Munchkinland.
I'm off to the assembly, dear.
And she had a mother, as so many do.
How I hate to go and leave you lonely.
That's all right, it's only just one night.
They have great voices too. Usually in a cast, when you have a movie, you have the leads that have amazing voices, and then sometimes you'll have people here and there, but they're you know, but I felt like they did such a good job casting this movie. Even with them, beautiful voices, like so well, so musical theater feeling, but not too much, you know?
Know that you're here in my heart while I'm out of your sight.
If you noticed, pulled back his awe just a little bit. While I'm out of your sight. Slightly closed, slightly pulled back and said sight, there's a little bit closed there, but it works here because he's kind of like fading off as he heads into that. Oh!
Like every family.
And her facial expression change on rhythm of da 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 da. Like badass bitch coming in now.
Have another drink, my dark guy.
Jeff Goldblum!
Got one more night left here in town. Have another drink.
Okay, so everything is supposed to be sung live, correct? However, I don't think this dude is him, right? This is not Jeff. This is somebody else. So did he record that and put that over the top? Because he's not even actually in this scene. That's what I'm thinking. And there's so much movement here that we're not hearing any change in the vocals for it as well.
A little mixer. Have another little song. And follow me down.
Yeah, have another little something. I don't know what the hell he says there, but I like how he does it. It's almost like you'd think he's kind of muffled in something there, but he wasn't. But you know,
One thing led to another, as it so often does.
as it so often does. In her transitions of her face, yes.
I see a curl. It's a healthy, perfect, lovely little sweetheart. Oh, easy. How can it be? What does it mean?
Oh my God, he's so good. What does it mean? He's so dramatic when he hits his notes. But it's perfect. Okay, so this would be a perfect opportunity to point out the differences of how you should do an E and how you should not do an E. And his E here, if you watched my original reaction when I watched the entire movie, which I have already, this is me rewatching sections of it, his tongue. You could tell he's struggling a little bit with this E vowel, and 100% it purely has to do with his tongue. So if we back up,
What does it mean?
see how lifted his tongue is. It's not down. It's not flat. It's not out of the way. This is where, okay, so I had this massive discussion on The Wizard and I was talking about Cynthia Erivo and about how there's so many E vowels holding on to the E vowel, especially at the very end, and how she does such an exceptional job at hitting that high note in that E and making it as wide and open as possible, because an E vowel is very, very closed, just naturally. That's how it is. And what commonly happens is the tongue gets in the way, because the tongue pops up to the roof of the mouth and it lifts and it causes too much in the way for that vowel to come out, for the sound to come out. So it's really difficult to manipulate the vowel enough so that way you have maximum amount of space, but not manipulate it too much where it doesn't sound like an E anymore. His tongue is getting in the way. His tongue needs to come a little bit more down and a little bit more flat if possible. It's going to ridge up a little bit in the back in order to create the E sound, but as much as he could, if he could lift his cheekbones, flare his nose, and pop open that E here a little bit more and tongue down a little bit more, he'd have a much easier time with this E vowel than what he's having right here. Another E. Oh, sorry. We gotta back up.
It's uncanny.
See how high up that tongue is. That's okay. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't Cynthia. That's what I'm going to start saying from now on. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't Cynthia.
Like a froggy, ferny cabbage, the baby is unnaturally
Green.
And so, it couldn't have been easy.
Oh, you can see it. There it is. The pain, Ariana. I feel the pain. So it couldn't have been easy. Let's hit it. Get it. Yeah, I just felt stomp. I just felt like stomp. Like I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know if stomp is the right reference, but you feel like where it's like G G G G G G G G G. There's like that was probably the worst example ever. But you get what I'm saying, where it's like sharp movements. I feel like you guys are gonna clip all this shit and put it up on Twitter, and it's just gonna become sharp movements. That's all it's gonna end up being. But you know what I'm talking about? Like they're getting down, and it's hard. Yeah, they still sound great. They still sound really good, even though, like, I do think I would have liked a little more from her here, but I can understand what she's saying. Right? And that high note, I don't remember that high note being there. She died alone. Was that originally there? I don't feel like that high note was there. She died alone, right? She died alone. I think it was there. I don't think she went up alone. I don't think it was there. I guess I just would have liked this section, but it was so early on in the movie, I just already forgot about it and totally fell in love with her character. And then, but now rewatching it, I guess you could say I would have liked a little more power. Then again, I could be wrong. This could be me definitely being biased towards Kristen Chenoweth playing the character who did this part very big and very over the top. So I know a lot of people have been saying that they couldn't understand what she was saying there, but it's not necessarily having to do with her voice. It has to do with the high notes. So when we have such high notes up there, she died alone. If you were to enunciate a lot there, she died alone. I mean, it would sound really not good. It would sound just like what I just did there, which is, it doesn't sound nice. So you are going to err on the side of sounding much nicer, rounder, more gentle for the ears than on understanding the words there, per se. Oh, look at her. And we're hitting her voice above anyone else's voice right here. Wicked! As she's going into it. I love that. And I love that she hits that high note there. Like it's, oh God, dear God, did you hear that? I don't even know if I could do it. I haven't warmed up. No. Gotta warm up for that, baby. But I love that she goes right into it and hangs on to it. I when I first heard that, I was like, oh yes, gotta hit the high note. Because this is the first scene that we see. But now seeing this all over again, we have more context, we have more emotion, we have more, there's just more attached to it. Whereas in the beginning, as it being the first scene, I didn't know, yet I could still very much feel the pain in her face. It was not a celebration for her. It felt more like a, okay, this is what had to be done. I don't even really remember the second half of the musical. I really don't. Like, I don't. Did she get water on her? Was the water thing all fake? I feel like the water thing was all fake. I don't know. I actually don't remember, and I purposely am trying also not to remember, like, even with the book and whatnot, because I don't want to spoil it. It's been that long. I remember songs, but I don't remember much of it. And I'm kind of happy about that. But I'm assuming this is something that she had to do, but I don't think she's actually dead. I feel like she isn't dead. I don't know. Anyways, beautiful job, especially on that ending high note. Ugh. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Yep.